Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is IMRAN bin SOPIAN.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is FARIS IZANI bin SAHARUM.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Adam bin ROSLAN.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is IKMAL bin ZAKI, and we are from RSR 2433C. Okay, now we talk about public speaking. So, what is public speaking? So, the public speaking is like we speak to the group of people to give information, persuade, or to entertain the listener. So, in this public speaking, we can speak or talk a variety of topic that we think that useful for the listener. So to make it interesting, we can use visual aid like electronic slideshow that like I use right now to make the listener more understand and can keep in their mind of the information.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now we move to the do's and don'ts of public speaking. Okay, we move to the do's. First is know your audience. Of course, we need to know our audience because when we try to public speaking, we need to know their culture, from where he come from their country, and everything. Because if we need to know it, because we don't want to touch the sensitive in the public speaking, such as some about racist or about his life and everything. Okay, next is framing your speech. First, when we want to make a public speaking, of course we need to make a outline for a public speaking, such as at the beginning, what we want to tell, what we want to do, at the middle, and at the end. Okay. Next is start and finish on time. Okay, this is very simple. We need to, of course, we must be on time because some of our people, they are, what we call it, they are excited on that public speaking, maybe from the 2 or 4 o'clock. So when we set from 3 and 5 o'clock, he will wait until 3 or 5 o'clock. But if we finish not on time, of course he will be like, why so late, why so long, we set only 2 or 5 o'clock. Okay, it's very simple. Just start and finish on time to make sure audience are interesting on the public speaking. Okay, next is be yourself. This is a very important thing when in the public speaking, because when we on the public speaking, we need to tell to the audience. We need to be ourselves, not to fake ourselves. We are from where, what we do, what we learn, we good or not, we stupid or not. Just tell about ourselves. Just tell the truth. Okay. Okay. Next, we move to the don'ts of public speaking. Don't read your slide. This is for the newbie or for the anyone. If we want to attract audience to listen to us, we need to make sure what we talk, what we give it come from our mind, not from the slide. If we only watch the slide and read, everybody will sleep, will boring. Okay, next is overuse of animation. Okay, avoid overuse of animation when we on public speaking. Of course, sometimes we need to show them animation, such as an example, but don't use it too much because in public speaking, you need to talk more, not just show the animation. If only show the animation, can go to the cinema. Okay, next is don't hurry. Okay, just don't hurry when we talking about something, when we give about something and tell about something. Just smooth, one by one. It will go one by one. Don't take it too faster, too hurry. We want to go. We only public speaking. Okay, the last one is don't use too many fonts. Okay, this such as font from the example, such as use Times New Roman in the public speaking, or any language in the public speaking, such as we use English as the main language in public speaking. Then suddenly we use too many languages. We use Mandarin, we use bahasa Melayu, bahasa Indonesia. It's not a professional. We better use one language or two language only. Okay, that's it for the do's and don'ts of public speaking.
Okay, hi. Today I want to talk about three topics. First one, I want to talk about the types of public speaking. And okay, there are four types in public speaking. The ceremonial speaking, demonstrative speaking, informative speaking, and the last one is persuasive speaking. Okay, for this first one, I want to talk about ceremonial speaking. Okay, the most people will give some sort of ceremonial speech during their lifetime. This speech mark special occasions. They are common at weddings, graduations, and funeral, as well as large birthday celebration and also office holiday parties. Sermon speaking typically involves a toast and is personal with an intimate emotional connection to people hearing it. Okay, and then the second one, demonstrative speaking. Science, demonstrative, and role playing are types of demonstrative speaking. This type of public speaking requires being able to speak clearly and concisely to describe actions and to perform those actions while speaking. The demonstrative speaker may explain the process behind generating power while cycling to power a toaster. For example, the behind the idea behind demonstrative speaking is that the audience members live with the knowledge about how to do something. And then the third one is informative speaking. While with speaking, the speaker is trying simply to explain a concept to the audience members. The college lecture course involves informative speaking, as do industry conference and public officials sharing vital information. In this type of speaking, the information is what is important. The speaker is not trying to get others to agree with him or to show them how to do something for themselves. Rather, he is disseminating vital information. And the last one is persuasive speaking, is about tends to be the most busy. The politicians, lawyer, and clergy member use persuasive speaking. This type of speaking require practicing voice inflection and nuance of language that will convince the audience member of a certain viewpoint. The persuasive speakers has a stake in the outcome of the speech. And then the politicians, for instance, may once vote or groundswell of support for a pet project, while lawyers are trying to convince a jury of their positions. Okay.
Question 6, which is types, purpose, and preview of attention getter. Okay, so what is attention getter? Okay, attention getter is used at the beginning of an essay to grab the reader's attention. Usually the attention getter is used at the first sentence of their speech. Okay, attention getter is the device that the speaker use at the beginning of the speech to capture the audience interest and make them interest in the speech topic. So the attention getter is important to attract the reader's attention. Okay, so the next is the purpose of attention getter. Okay, the first purpose of attention getter is to grab the reader's attention and give them some context for the essay. Okay, and then next is to capture the audience interest and make them interest in the specific context. Okay, next is types of attention getter. Okay, the first type is anecdote. Okay, an anecdote is like a story that relates to your essay. By starting your essay with anecdote, you engage the reader emotional level by drawing her into your essay through the story. Your reader will try to relate the story, which means she will also try to relate to your essay. Okay, number 2 is questions. You can use a questions as attention getter to engage your reader and get him thinking. You can ask question that gets your reader or the audience to thinking about your topic. Your reader or audience will thinking about why and how that happened, and your essay and your speech will give him the answer. And then number 3 is humor. Humor is like a joke, okay? Joke. So starting your essay with a joke can engage your reader and put him in a positive mindset to listen to your speech. Okay, so a joke will keep your reader from taking your speech too seriously. And then I want to remind that be careful not to use a joke that might be offensive to readers. Okay, the number 4 is statistic. One way to grab your attention of the audience is by use the statistic of fact. Okay, the statistic of fact can be very effective in affirmative essay or speech with a lot of technical information. So with the statistic that the audience can easy to remember because they have the visual or the image. Okay, and the 5 and the number last is quotation. You can use the quotation in your speech so that the audience can easy to remember. This will show that if you use the quotation, this will show that you have done the research for your essay, and the reader can more attract to listen to your speech.
Okay, now we move to the number 5. 4 things. First is attention getter. Attention getter is give audience a reason to listen to the rest of the speech, because this will help audience to understand and reflect on your topic, such as of course, audience, when you want to listen, you need to know what is the topic or the reason you want to listen for the speech. So you need to tell them, give a pamphlet or the slide to let them know what are they listening to. Okay, next is uh, credentials. Okay, credential is reveal a person connection to our topic, such as degrees, certifications, testimonials, and work experience. Okay, such as uh, audience, and we have speaker, speech, speaker, and then when we speak about something, about someone, we need to tell what are the personal connections, such as certification of success something and work experience 8 years, 10 years on something, work at something, and has degrees or doctors or prof, something like that. Okay, next is creating credibility. Creating credibility is when we in the realm of public speaking, the message is inseparable from the messenger. If audience don't trust you or don't trust you, they don't listen to you. Okay, such as of course the audience don't know who we are, so we need to gain their trust, to know who we are, to make sure they listen to us very very carefully. Okay, based on superficial, silly and irrelevant factors in addition to legitimate concern, first impressions are hard to overcome and audience will begin to judging you before you even have a chance to introduce yourself. Okay, such as when the public speaking didn't start, but the audience will start judging from your physical, from your first impression. Oh, maybe this is so not cool, not funny, or something like that. So we need to preparing a good speech is preparing a good speech, and it's not enough to gain the audience. So we need to trust and respect them from the beginning to the end to make sure they listen to us. Okay, now next is preview. Preview is let the audience know what will come first and what comes next and so on to end of the speech. Preview is just like outline of the public speaking, what we want to do from early, second, third, and last. I'm sorry for the noise from the chicken. There are too many chicken in my house, so I'm really, really sorry.
Okay, now we talk about the informative speech. So what the informative speech? Okay, the informative speech is speech that can give or that can educate the listener about the certain topic. So this speech and the public speaking is quite same, but this speech is more like to educate the listener. So the example of speech that we can relate is awareness of danger of coronavirus. So if the listener know the danger of coronavirus, so they can keep safe themselves and the people surround them and make the coronavirus disappear from this earth.
Okay, the second topic is to talk about types of informative speech. The first one is definitions, and then explanatory, and then descriptive, demonstrative. Okay, I want to talk about the first one. The first one is definitions. Definition speech explain the meaning, theory, or philosophy of a specific topic that the audience likely does not know much about. And then explanatory speech might give a description of the states of a given topic. As an example, consider the type of speech that are given at industry conference. And then the descriptive speech create a vivid picture in a person's mind regarding an object, person, animal, or place. And then the last one is demonstrative speech. Creates a mental image in audience members' mind.
Okay, next is purpose of presenting informative speech using data and charts. Okay, so in informative speech, The speakers should rely on visual aids in order to give the audience a visual representation of information contained in the speech. Okay, so basically in the informative speech, they should rely on visual aids such as the data and charts, figures, statistics, in order to give the audience so they can understand what we want to tell them. Okay, so the first purpose is so that the listener can more easily understand what the presenter is trying to explain to them. And then the second purpose, the audience will be more interested in the pictures and data, which will make it easier for them to memorize the facts. Okay, next is writing outline for informative speech. So this is the writing outline for informative speech. As we can see, the first is introduction. Okay, in introduction, first we have the attention device. Okay, the attention device, how can I gain the attention of the audience? Okay, the attention device is like the attention getter that I explained at the slide before. The attention device can be a poem, a quote, a rhetorical question, a story, and then attention device should be around 30 seconds. Okay, and then the thesis statement. What is my speech about? Okay, thesis statement is the topic that you want to tell. Then the forecast of the main point. You can talk about the 3 to 5 speaking point, about 1 to 2 sentences to tell the audience. And then the next is link to the first point. How I get into my first main point. You can write 1 or 2 sentences to explain your point. And then the second outline is the body. Okay, the body means the point for your topic. You can include 3 points. First point, you can include 3 to 5 main point. Okay, so the body is about the point. Okay, and the third is conclusion. The conclusion should be 1 to 30 seconds long. Okay, in the conclusion, you can explain about the summary of the main point. Summary is about 1 to 2 sentences summarizing the points you have talked about, and then restate the thesis. You can talk about 1 to 2 sentences rephrasing the thesis for the audience. So I hope all of you can understand the writing outline for informative speech.
Okay, the last one for me is organizational patterns of information speech. Okay, this is each of the presenting organization pattern is potentially useful for organizing the main points of our speech. However, not all organizational patterns work for all speeches. For example, as we mentioned earlier, the biographical patterns is useful when we telling the story of someone's life. Some other patterns, particularly comparison or contrast, a problem cost solution, and physiological. Okay, this will want to be aware that it is also possible to combine 2 or more organization patterns to meet the goals of specific speech. For example, when we might wish to discuss a problem and their compare or contrast several different possible solutions for the audience, such as speech would thus be combining elements of the comparison or contrast and problem cost solution patterns. That's it from me. Thank you.
And then the third topic is to talk about identify common vocabulary used in informative speech. This is the example. The common vocabulary I found. Okay, first up that shown the graph is increase, rise, grow, went up, double, multiply. Then the down, decrease, drop, fall, the same, which is a stable, changes, which mean dramatically, slightly, steadily, and then top, which is reach a peak, reach its the highest level, and then bottom means the lowest level. And then we go to the different language used to describe chart and graph. There are three. There is descriptions, analysis, and also evaluation. Then for the example, the graph. The example for description is the graph from source, present data on the title from the chart and graph. And then they are related to the y-axis, vertical is, and the x-axis, horizontal is. Yeah, that's the example for description. And then we go to the analysis. The example is the overall summary. The overall there is or has been, and then I like to focus your attention on that's example for the analysis. And then the last one is evaluation. The example of evaluation is this seems to suggest that, and then this is possibly because of that's the example for the evaluations. And then we go to the identify the transitional words. The transitional words are words like and, but, so, and because. They show your reader the relationship between phrases, sentences, or even paragraph. When you use them, you make it easier for you readers to understand how your thoughts and ideas are connected. What is more, they prepare your readers for what's coming.
Okay, now we move to function of transitional words in informative speech. Okay, first function is to help the listener to understand the flow of the speech. Second, as a signpost that tell the listener where topic are going. Okay, the last one is a word indicates the speaker has finished one talk and moving to the another. Okay, now I will give the example of transitional word in sentence. Okay, first, in conclusion, we have to stay at home so that this coronavirus can be disappear on this earth. Okay, the transitional word is in conclusion. Okay, second, in other words, we need to be prepared and accept life with this new norm. So the transitional words is in other words. Okay, that's all for us. We hope all the information that we give just now that can be used to you all and get better in public speaking and informative speech. So, thank you.